In this video, we're going to be using Catie's Bubbles, Bailey's Irish Coffee, the RazoRock Lupo, and we're going to have some Irish coffee. Stay tuned. Hey there, folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host, CDB. Thanks so much for joining me again today. I really appreciate it. So, as mentioned before, today we're going to start out with a little Irish coffee. And for you old schoolers out there that have been watching me for years, yes, this is the old Saints mug with the Irish coffee in it. Cheers. Terrific stuff. So that right there, which you saw, is what this soap was based on. This is Catie's Bubbles, the original and greatest Bailey's Irish coffee. Now it has this label, which is not quite as good by any stretch of the imagination. It's just called Irish coffee. Drop the excellent Bailey's name. This is great. This is still great, but not quite as great. Anyway, this is very old. Got this back in the day when you could get 8 ounces of soap for 20 bucks or $2.50 an ounce, which was an exceptional price. Nowadays, when you get it, it's still a good price. It is $14 for 4 ounces. Now, this particular container is not a 4-ounce container, but you get it for $14, 4 ounces, a good price. We'll show you our cost chart right there. So the $14 comes out to $3.50 per ounce, good price. The old school $20 for 8 ounces was an exceptional $2.50, but a good price in any event. And Catie's Bubbles is a soap that I've been using for a long time. I really like the soap, really like Chris. We're going to be using today the RazoRock Lupo stainless steel DLC razor with a feather blade on its first use. And we'll just go ahead and get into it after we have a little Irish coffee. Again, the Irish coffee brought about this soap because when I used to do videos, I don't know, I want to say 6 years ago or somewhere thereabouts, I would have my Irish coffee, or I'd do those sofa session videos on the old, iLather.com channel and have the Irish coffees and just rant and carry on. And it was fun at the time, but I just don't have the energy to be arguing and fighting with people and debating like I used to. I just like to enjoy these shaves, and I like to advocate for the hobby. This, by the way, I'm using is the PAA, pre-shave cube. Absolutely not needed for me, but I have it. May as well use it. And it worked well. I've actually used this PAA cube several times just shaving by itself. It works well as a shaving soap in its own right, but I have it. I use it. And we're going to be using the RazoRock 400 brush. And, of course, the Bailey's Irish coffee, which just smells like a sweet Irish coffee. And so what Irish coffee is, the ingredients, if you're interested, if you want to make one for yourself, it is, of course, coffee. Irish whiskey, you can use like Jameson, Tullamore Dew, Bushmills, whatever you want. Give yourself a shot or so of that Irish whiskey. And also a little brown sugar and some whipped cream or heavy cream. And you have yourself a fantastic beverage. And that's what we're having today. And that's what we used to have all the time. All right. This smells really, really nice, by the way. You're not going to get a deep coffee scent. Think more of the sweetness. Let's have another. Good stuff there. And that is that old original mug I used to drink it out of. Okay, so let's get going today with our Lupo, which is one of my favorite safety razors. I absolutely love it. This is DLC, which is currently, I'll put a link to it below, but they haven't made any of the stainless ones for a while. I am told they're still making, they plan to make Lupos in stainless without the coating. So, keep your eye out for that. But they do have the aluminum versions available. When I got the stainless steel, I let my aluminum go because I just prefer stainless. I like the weight. Not that it does. I don't know. It just feels more robust, and I just enjoy it. But honestly, when it comes to the shave, they both shave well. And more than not, or the single most important factor in your shave is you. Far more important than most of the gear. I do think the blade is also of critical importance, but your technique, your knowledge, knowing what your face will put up with, knowing how to lather your soap the way you like it is by far more important than what holds the blade. I'm pretty sure that, I could attach a blade to a stick and shave with it. I might cut myself. It probably wouldn't be enjoyable, but don't sell yourself short. You, as Ken Klitschko has said, and we had a thought-provoking conversation this morning, Ken and I, about, it was basically around what's performing. Is the soap performing? For example, I told him, I said, you have a point in that when a carpenter builds a deck on your house, and he doesn't come in and go, I'm telling you that those 2x4s, that lumber and those nails just performed spectacularly. The craftsman, his skill using those products is what ended with that great result. So the craftsman or the user is by far the most important thing. Now, I do understand that, you can have a really good quality nail gun or a crappy one, and one is going to be far more enjoyable to use and so on, and maybe he'll be more efficient using it. But a good carpenter can get out an old regular hammer and drive those nails, perhaps less efficiently, but he can do it, I assure you. So if you're a good shaver, you don't blame your equipment, Rarely is it the fault of the equipment. Sometimes it can be when something just fails, or let's say you have a hone that you just don't like and it doesn't agree with your skin, that can be a problem. But more times than not, it is your knowledge and your ability to adjust and all these other variables that come into play. And just knowing, a lot of it is just simply knowing what your skin will tolerate and what type of lather works best for you. And that certainly can vary from person to person, but as Ken Klitschko says, we're performing the shave. The gear are tools used to aid us in that. And I think we get a lot of enjoyment out of the tools and using all these different tools. That makes us, very happy. But when it comes down to it, having used many pieces of equipment over the years, software, hardware, the single most important thing by a lot is you, the shaver, those of you who are watching, and how you're using the equipment. And I guess that can be said of many things in life, how you're using things. But there's no question that some certainly feel better than others. And if you have certain skin types and conditions that are unique to you, maybe some soaps aid you in the pursuit of a good shave better and make it easier for you. Completely open to that. But ultimately, we're the ones dragging the steel. And so if you don't have that link, is the single most important link. If your technique isn't sound, if your knowledge of what your face can and cannot handle is not sound, then you're probably not going to get that great of shaves regardless of what you use. You can use the most pricey stuff out there and it won't matter. So the most important advice I can give for new people, especially, and understanding that our goal here is to bring new people in, is learn. Put far more emphasis on learning to shave properly and getting to know your skin and what your face will tolerate, and less emphasis on pursuing gear, particularly expensive gear, where quite frankly, a lot of it is just simply diminishing returns that once you get to a certain level, like this soap here is, I want to say at least 6 years old. At least 6 years old. I want to show you how much I have left here. And I've used this a ton. Well, you can't see it very well there, but I've used this a ton. Still smells great. This is an excellent scent, I think. But that's what it looks like now. Excellent scent. Oh, I like to drag this out every once in a while and just stroll down memory lane. Excellent scent. This soap was made years ago, before the real Dragon Tallow Chupacabra oil Super Blue Emu, unicorn milk soaps were really in vogue. And as you can see, it's working very successfully for me today. I hope I'm not jinxing myself. Or let me put it to you this way. I'm making it work. So, because again, we want to focus the attention back to me. I'm using the tool. So folks, when this soap came out, we're getting excellent shaves with it back in the day. Excellent shaves with it. And I'm still getting an excellent shave with it today. And so, you know, even though we have all these really fancy ingredients, this stuff still allows you to get an incredible shave. And again, it was at $2.50 an ounce back in the day. And even now it's only $3.50, which is still a very good price. And I'm sure that formulation has changed a little bit. I didn't show you the ingredients. I'm going to show you the ingredients of the new, well, the one that's on the Catie's Bubbles website. You don't see Catie's Bubbles getting as much love as a lot of the other brands right now that do have the, you know, 12, what I call 12 butter, you know, exotic soaps. But I want to say this, not only does this stuff still allow you to get an excellent shave, but Chris is one of those folks that has been instrumental in helping many a soaper who was learning to make shaving soap and now who competes against him. You know, he was not one of those people that was afraid to help folks when people are struggling. I know many people reached out to him. I know people reached out to Carrie, and I think Carrie, even Carrie Seibert of Soap Commander, I think she reached out to Chris. So he's helped many people who are now competitors. And, you know, that's just the type of fella he is. Now, he is hard-headed, you know. You're not going to convince him to do something he doesn't want to do. We talk about that when I talk to the inspector. I'm like, man, I love his stuff. He's hard-headed. Like, you try to suggest things. Well, I'm not doing that. You know? But this stuff still stands up. And the soap is still in excellent condition, primarily because I don't dump a bunch of water in it, you know. It's excellent. And the result, we've got an excellent result. So just keep in mind, you folks are the most important factor in your shave. The gear, I think, to me, I would rate the next level importance the blade. The blade is very, very, very important. Finding one that you like and is comfortable for you. And then everything else follows behind that. But you are number one. You know, you are number one. That was just really enjoyable. Smooth as silk. Here's to you. Let me get a little drink of Irish coffee here. Then we will rinse and come back with the post. Stay tuned. And all right, since we're not running long on time today, I'll go ahead and use the alum block here. One of the reasons, folks, that I don't talk about post or evaluate post is because I use things like this. Alum, witch hazel, and I'll use an alcohol-based splash, which all have astringent properties. So I'm not one to judge the post, and the post really isn't objectively measurable anyway. That's the PAA alum block with dry dock. Stay tuned, we'll come back and finish it off. And all right, I'm told it's safe to use the Lancaster towel, again, because there will be dropping some soon, so maybe folks will have a chance to get them. I'm not a big fan of using a lot of things, unless it's just old and no longer available, that are really difficult to get. And the drops on those have been so few that I kind of feel bad about using it, but I'm told there is a drop coming, so stay tuned to Lancaster RazoRworks for that. We're going to, of course, follow up with Magic Made by Witches. This is theirs. Witch hazel, just in a spray bottle. And I remind you, I'll put links below to the things here. Some of them are affiliate links, which helps the channel if you choose to use those links. But I'm not asking you to, it's always up to you. But I do put the information below for your convenience. We're going to finish off today with Clubman Classic Vanilla, and I have decanted it into a hot sauce bottle. I find that particularly these Pinaud aftershaves, if you put them in these glass bottles, you don't get that plastic smell. They do smell a little different over time. And for me, they smell And by the way, the hot sauce bottles do a pretty good job with not letting the stuff splash all over the place. Let's give it a go. And I think this old classic vanilla works well with the Bailey's Irish coffee, or as it's called now, Irish coffee. Still a terrific soap, even today. Today I used the old one. I didn't use the new one. And you saw, excellent result. The stuff was excellent back then. It's excellent still now. But most importantly, you, the shaver, if you're excellent, your shaves will most likely be excellent too. I can't emphasize that enough. And I want to thank Ken Klitschko for the excellent conversation on that today. The reason I mentioned people like him is we really have thought-provoking conversations that go a little bit deeper, and I enjoy that. I want to say here's to all of you who are watching. This is, again, Irish coffee. Just like the old days. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. I've been your host, CDB, reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way, and as always, God bless.